From the Figure 4 Online Studios in beautiful Bothell, Washington, exclusively at WrestlingObserver.com, you're listening to the Bryan and Vinny Show with your hosts, Bryan Alvarez and Big Vinny V.
All right, it's Bryan Vinny Show, everybody. It is Thursday here, August 23rd, 2018. Figure4online.com/WrestlingObserver.com. Granny is going to join us here today, hopefully with an exciting segment, because we sure didn't watch much exciting wrestling here today.
No, we did not.
The post-takeover NXT, which was a one-match show. That's putting it mildly. And then the hidden gem.
There's a reason it was hidden. Some things should remain unseen.
They call this a hidden gem. Yeah. Big Time Wrestling Star Wars. 1981 Reunion Arena, the Von Erichs. I was looking everywhere for these results. Couldn't find them anywhere. Like, apparently this isn't a show that people fondly remember. I wonder why. I actually have some nice things to say about the show. Not all nice.
Yeah, the majority will be unnice.
Mostly negative, but...
Anti-nice.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the plan for today. Granny is going to join us, and lots of fun stuff, so stick around. We'll be right back with that. All right, we're back here. We're ready to go. Granny's joining us here today. In a great mood, as always. What's happening, Granny?
Oh, I showed you a picture of what I did today.
Yeah, she showed me a picture of her yard.
Do a lot of yard work. Now the smoke finally left, it's safe to go outside again?
I've been going out anyway for a while.
Good to hear.
Young people and old people were supposed to stay inside, but Granny's outside.
Working.
Yeah, working. Unhealthy. It said unhealthy for all people.
90 degrees outside, legit the worst air quality on planet Earth.
Yep.
Granny's doing yard work.
Yeah. How did you not die, Granny? That's crazy.
I don't know.
I guess you were probably exposed to a lot of smoke over the years with Terry. He was a smoker.
Well, he never smoked that much around me, though.
I don't think you build up an immunity to it.
Well, I'm just saying
That's how it
she's
works.
more used to it than maybe others, perhaps.
I see.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you could build up some sort of immunity.
Well, and he quit smoking cigarettes and went to cigars.
Yeah. It's still smoking.
Yeah.
I mean, let's put it this way, Vinny. If you've been a smoker your whole life, if you walk into a hotel or a casino in Vegas and there's smoke in the air, like...
It's no big deal.
It's no big deal. I walk into one of those places, I fucking get a headache every time I go to Vegas.
Yeah.
Because of the smoke in the air. So yes, in some ways you could build an immunity. That's all I'm saying. So Granny, what else is going on? Should we get going on this Facebook thing and then we'll get into all of our exciting match reviews later?
Well, yeah, because I've got a lot of stuff tonight.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, Granny has reviewed the big match from this past Saturday.
Your match.
Yes. I don't know anything about it. I don't know what she scored it. So I'm going to hear it with the rest of you.
And I also watched SummerSlam that I want to talk about.
You want to talk about SummerSlam? Okay. I'm ready. Let's go on this Facebook, Vinny, then we'll get going.
Facebook theme today is, since I forgot to ask for ideas for a contest, let's do that today, or questions, or if you saw Bryan's wrestling match in Vegas, comment on that. Thanks.
Okay, so hold on a second. You weren't even on the show last week, Granny. And you still forgot to ask for something for this week?
I got so used to being without it. It was so nice.
You got used to it because of one day off?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead, Vinny. Entertain me.
Edward Laredo.
Good start. Hey, listen, let me get this out of the way first. Ed paid me.
Oh.
Actually, what he did was he made a donation to Whale Scout, which is fine with me.
Is that what did you agree on this before the match?
Well, no, but I mean, it's fine.
Okay.
I'm not going to complain about that. But the point of this is, he paid up.
He paid up.
Yeah. So we're back on speaking terms again.
You're friends again.
I've unblocked him from Twitter, which by the way, I believe Ed may have been the only person I've ever blocked on Twitter.
Why?
I mute everybody else.
I see.
Because I enjoy that more, because then I know that like a fair number of these idiots are still every day tweeting stuff to me that I don't see.
Right.
They're wasting their lives.
Yes.
Blocking is different. They know it's no use. So I just only blocked Ed.
Right.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But he's unblocked now.
Well, he's unblocked, so I guess we can read this. Okay. Granny, I hope you will be able to watch the matches from the Granny's old-fashioned double match classic soon. But try and guess who won. The Lucha Sisters, Mia Yim and Leva Bates. The Sinister Sweethearts, Samantha Heights and Brittany Blake. The Besties, is it Zaya Brookside?
Sure is.
And Miranda, or Sage, Sin, and Maserati.
They don't have a name?
Did you watch the match? You did not watch the match. You were on the show. They did not get along. It was a one-night thing.
I see. Okay.
Okay, I picked the Beasties.
The Beasties.
Uh-huh.
Zaya Brookside and Miranda, the Beasties. Mm-hmm. We'll see how this plays out.
Okay, was it a real wrestling match?
This actually happened. This isn't like a video
Granny,
game.
it was 4 doubles matches. It was a tournament.
Or 3.
Uh-huh.
3? It was a
Tournament. 2 semifinals, 1 final.
I guess so, yeah, 3. 1, 2, 3. Huh. About that. Anyway, yeah, they did a tournament, Granny, to award what was supposed to be Wendy's gift cards.
Yes.
But they were actually Samba's gift cards.
Just
Which, let me tell you something. If I'd heard that, I'd have been in drag. I had an idea.
that's all it takes?
I had an idea for the show that would involve...
Steakhouse is here too, you know.
It would involve Wang in drag, but then it was sort of like, this is a girl power show. Like, this is not the right place for men in drag.
Okay.
But when I heard about the Samba's gift cards...
It's always the right time for men in drag.
But it was too late.
Yeah.
The tournament was over. Damn it. Anyway.
Should I move on then?
Sure, yeah.
Paul Fontaine. Referring to your match, I believe. I thought it was the best match in the show.
Wow.
My son, Paul Jr., liked the 6-man earlier in the show better. That 6-man was actually great.
I did hear a lot of people that loved the 6-man.
Peach is surprisingly great, and Bryan was an awesome babyface in peril.
Thank you, Paul. I appreciate that.
Very nice comment.
I should add that Paul did not like the booking of the hot tag, but Paul Fontaine Jr. liked the way it was done.
Well, if you can impress half the Pauls in the world, you're doing something right.
That's right. Well, the point is Paul Fontaine Jr. is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joey Zagino? Joey Z. Would you consider being Bryan's manager for a match? He needs a good manager to help him turn that win in Vegas into a streak.
That's right. I could be on a streak next.
You did win, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, I did win, Vinny. What are you talking
I
about?
remember your partner turning on you, and I forgot you overcame the odds.
Yeah, but you see, the whole point was, I'll just give you a little inside information here, okay?
Uh-uh.
What do you mean, nuh-uh? What are you talking about?
Don't ruin my thing.
Do not spoil the magic for Grant.
I'll save it
She
for
wants to
after.
believe.
I'll save it for afterwards.
Good.
I'll give this scoop.
Mike Willett. Bryan, is your hand healed yet after that devastating double chop that backfired versus the Rock and Rolls? I know the Chop and Roll Express has been perfecting their chops to deadly force. I hate to hear it if you or Filthy are still experiencing concussion-like symptoms from the brute force of those chops. Best wishes, and heal soon.
I'm totally fine. I delivered mini chops this past Saturday. My hand was swollen and red after that match. A very serious injury, but it has since returned to its normal size. Fear not.
TJ Simmons says, I paid my $8 sub to video.frwonline.com and watched Bryan's match. That was fun.
Thank you.
Also, the Disco Inferno was a real piece of garbage.
Hey.
Just letting Bryan take them on 1v2 that whole match, then coming in late and, spoiler alert, laying everyone out.
Yeah. We'll get to that later.
Andrew J. Markle. This is a fantastic name. I'm going to say it again. Andrew J. Markle. Granny, would you like to see Vinny team with Bryan for one last match, or do you think Vinny's shoot battle royal win is the perfect way for Vinny to leave with his head held high?
Vinny should stay.
Vinny, you should stay retired.
I agree. I totally agree, but...
I think Bryan should too.
Well, get out of here, Granny. Do you know that, like, over the last 3 or 4 days, and actually there were people that were asking prior to this, but it's kind of been over the last couple of days because Max Smashmaster was on the show. People have been asking if I would be willing to work King of Trios next year. And somebody on the show specifically suggested the team of me, Tom, and Lance. I was thinking, what about Vinny? What if Lance doesn't want to do it? Me and Tom and Vinny.
This is a huge discrepancy.
Team F4W.
This is plan A and plan Q.
Are you able to stand on the apron the whole time?
Probably.
Okay, then it's possible.
I suppose that's possible.
Okay, I'm just thinking of different ideas. I'd greatly prefer Lance, don't get me wrong.
As would I.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that he'd be interested. I don't know what he's up to.
Neither am I.
Yeah.
Reese Woosnam.
But you don't get a vote. You're being paid.
I have no control over my own fate.
I hate when you call me your boss. I can't, it's just unfathomable to me. Unfathomable? Whatever the goddamn word is.
You're right, yeah.
When your wife tells people that I'm your boss. I'm like, this just is, but if I have something I want done, I'm your boss. You understand?
I do.
Okay.
Believe me, I do.
Just want to get that out there.
Reese Woosnam says, "Hi, Granny. Big fan of the show. Are you going to be making the 18-hour plane trip to Melbourne for Undertaker's last match against Triple H? I can be your tour guide."
Oh, are you going to pay my way?
You won't even go to Vegas. You're going to go on an 18-hour flight to Melbourne, Australia?
I wouldn't.
That's what I thought.
Rob Wanska says, "Hi, Granny. Assuming that you watched Bryan's match from last week..."
Why don't you give him the mic?
Huh?
He's right there. That's producer Rob, you idiot.
Oh, hi, Rob. How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Oh, my God.
I know about his Twitter handle, Leveland Rounds.
Anyway, go ahead and ask.
I had no idea what your last name was.
Now you know.
You want to read it?
I sent your friend request.
I got like 25 friend requests. just
Hand
in
him
the
over.
pile.
Hand him over.
It's a laptop. It's unplugged.
Nah, I'm talking about the mic, you moron. Why would you hand him the laptop?
So you can read it.
All right.
Now he's leaning over to read it.
Okay, let's hear it.
Let's get the back of his head on camera.
Well, see, he's got a phone too.
So you want to wait for him to load Granny's Facebook page on his phone?
Head's in the way of everything. Go ahead.
Hi, Granny.
What? I'm over here sending a message.
Like an Observer Live caller. What's your question?
I know, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure my head's not on the camera. Okay, Granny. Assuming that, well, obviously you did, assuming that you watched Bryan's match from last week, would you not concur that his performance was reminiscent of a young Lou Thez?
Oh, wow. Okay,
don't know
I'm glad
who
you
he-
asked the question now.
I don't know who that is. Sorry.
You don't know who that is.
Oh.
It's a hidden gem.
That would be a
I should
gem.
direct you to. That's right. Is that in the way now, Rob? Do I have to move that mic back?
No, you're good.
Okay. Go ahead, Vinny. The answer, by the way, is yes.
Okay.
He was very athletic and in shape when he was young.
Oh,
Before he was old.
Okay.
He was still athletic and in shape when he was old.
That's true. That
really
is
until
true,
the
yeah.
end.
I didn't break my hip in that match.
That's true.
Should throw that out there.
That's true. I believe it's Ruadri Campbell Laird. Having gone
Hey,
one,
he's there. He's here too. I'm just kidding.
having gone 1 versus 2 for most of the match, I feel like Vinny could have at least jumped in the ring until Disco showed up, if only to execute a big boot and yell "Bee!" You know, people were saying there were, you know, our buddies were there, and as Peach and was it Mikey G?
Yes.
As they were beating you up, a few guys started shouting Vinny and told me to get in the ring. I had to tell them, "Hey, I'm on their side."
Oh,
It would have been 3-on-1 if I did
Come
the
on,
ring.
you idiot. Could have been Wang. Could have been you. Could have been Paul Fontaine Jr. And you know who got on that apron to help me? Disco Inferno.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe he's not such a bad guy after all.
Joe Weaver says, if you were to enter next year's Mae Young Classic, what would your entrance music and finishing move be? Well, we know the first answer. Roll Out the Barrel.
Yeah, that's right.
Would be your song.
I'd have to think about the rest of it. That's it.
Okay, moving on. Alan Duffy has a contest idea. What about people suggest current or past crowd chants or wrestler catchphrases and assign them to one of B or V or G? For example,
I always love a good example.
I'd say Granny is the best Granny number 1.
That's good.
It involved the words granny. Therefore, it's good.
That was the example of Alan Duffy.
I'm like you, Bryan.
What do you mean you're like me?
You like it when they talk about you.
Well, 98% of the time it's negative, so actually I prefer when they don't.
David O'Neill says, I asked my girlfriend if she has a question. She says, Granny, aren't you sick of answering all these questions?
It's a good question.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
BJ Racine has a contest idea. Have Vinny read off wrestling theme song lyrics in a normal voice, and whatever makes you laugh the most wins.
That's actually a good contest idea.
Okay, that sounds good.
I like that one.
All right.
What's the name?
BJ Racine. Like Racine, Wisconsin.
No.
I like that's going to help Granny.
I don't know.
Okay. Got it.
Another contest idea. It's actually, I vote this one. It's a very similar idea, but with a twist. Alistair Hamilton says, next week, Granny reads out wrestling lyrics sent in by people on Facebook. Bryan and Vinny have to guess which entrance theme Granny is reading. First person to get 5 right wins.
That's actually a good contest. It would take a lot of work, though.
It would.
It would.
Yeah.
And then other people say, you suggest this every week.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. They say this, well, we don't read all the questions.
I see. Yeah. Well, finally we got to him.
Yeah.
All that time we didn't read his question, and he actually had a really good one. Really good suggestion.
Heath Katie says, would you endorse the TWF, the Toddler Wrestling Federation?
No.
You see where this is going already.
No, bad idea.
With Paisley as the company's top babyface.
Come on, get out of here.
Nope, no Paisley.
No Paisley. Right. She can do a somersault now.
Well, see, really? She's on her way.
Yeah.
Michael Alvarado says, asks, will there ever be a Wrestling Observer Radio episode in which Dave and Granny review a pay-per-view?
It is exceedingly unlikely that will ever happen.
Very, very.
Yeah.
We better get back to the wrestling here.
Granny's had enough of questions?
Okay, one more.
All right. Justin Fisher says, let's make up lyrics for Bryan's new entrance theme for when he wrestles.
My new entrance theme?
I guess you're getting a new theme.
I got a song.
Yeah, it is old.
That doesn't matter.
California Love could use an update.
Dude, Shawn Michaels been using the same song since 1992. You want to change that one? You want to change the Undertaker's music that he's been using since 1989?
Well, Undertaker has had about 50 themes.
Ric Flair's music, who he's been using since 2001? All right, go ahead, Granny.
That was good, Bryan. I like that one.
Thank you.
I just wrote this down and I didn't recopy it. So
excellent. My favorite.
Anyway, the two come out.
Who? What's the match?
The match?
Yeah, which one are you talking about here?
The event.
Oh, Bryan versus Peach and Mikey.
Okay.
All right.
Glad we got that straightened out.
Okay. The 3 of them come out. There's actually 3 people. And 2 of them get in the ring and they prance around and just act like they're such big pros. And then Bryan comes out and the crowd kind of gives him a bad time.
They did?
And a little bit.
Okay.
And then he has a promo trying to tell them that they should wait for his partner to come out. And so they don't really like that. So anyway,
tell me about it.
Some of them said Chico sucks.
They did?
Yeah.
The hell match were you watching? I watched this. I didn't hear that. I was there live.
Every once in a while. Yeah, I heard it. So
maybe that was Disco in the back. Is that possible?
So anyway, the partner never comes out. So Bryan takes off his belt and lays it over in the corner, and Peach picks it up and throws it in the middle of the ring. I don't know why.
He was disrespecting my black belt.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay. So sometimes I call you Chico, and sometimes I'll have to call you Bryan.
Okay, got that down, Vinny, in case there's any confusion.
Chico and Bryan are one and the same.
Interchangeable.
Understood.
Got it.
Bryan has a neck hold and an arm hold back at the back of Peach. The partner comes in.
His arms in his back?
That's a hammerlock.
I see.
Yeah, that's a hammerlock.
Said the arms in the back of Peach. All right.
Yeah.
And so the partner comes in, holds Bryan's arm back. Peach jumps on him. Peach puts his foot on the corner post, puts his foot up on the top of the post.
Yes.
And Mikey bangs Bryan's face on it. And then they both beat up on Bryan. So Bryan has head... Bryan has his head between Peach's knees, and then Peach keeps banging Bryan's face on the mat.
Yeah, you know who else does that move, Granny?
Huh.
Your boy Ryzik.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's his move.
Bryan gets him in the corner and a few slaps to the chest.
A few.
Yeah, the crowd keeps calling, more, more, more. So Mike has a submission hold, throws Bryan in the corner. Peach comes back in.
You know, as a trivia note, Granny, of everything in the match, the thing that hurt the most was when I took a buckle, which is my own bump.
Yeah.
I fucking hit that corner, and I thought, what am I doing in here? I hit that corner so hard. I thought, I'm going to end up like Sting. He took that buckle bomb, except it was my own fault.
Did you have a red back when you were done?
Dude, my neck was killing me. Anyway.
Bryan tries to get Peach down, grabs him by the shorts, and pulls on the shorts.
Oh. It's
Yeah.
that kind of match.
I sure did. Gave him a good yanking.
Yeah, and then outside the ring, Bryan hits all three.
That's like when I hit the lifeguard repeatedly and he just stood there and smiled at me. I finally had to throw Peach at him to get him to sell.
So Bryan throws Peach back into the ring, slaps him hard, give him headbutts on the corner. Crowd calls one more time. So he does. Bryan goes up, jumps on all three out of the corner. Bryan's partner, Wiggle, comes in.
Excuse me. Who?
Wait a minute. Not that. What was his name? Disco?
Yes.
Not anymore, it's not.
Disco.
The Wiggle Inferno hit the ring.
Wait a minute. Disco comes in and he wiggles around the ring.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
That did happen.
You did definitely do a lot of wiggling.
So Bryan crawls across the mat to tag the partner.
Wiggle.
Yes, wiggle.
Disco, he goes out there and he beats up on Peach and Mikey. And then Bryan goes to shake. He gives him chin chops and all kinds of stuff. So and then Bryan goes to shake his partner's hand. His partner turns on Bryan. And then the two of them get over on Bryan standing there kind of in the middle of the ring.
You can't trust Wiggle.
No.
And so Mikey and Peach each get on opposite sides of the top of the rope, and they're going to jump down on Bryan. But Bryan moves, so they fall on each other, which was my idea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Remember story I wrote?
You know, I'd forgotten, but now that I think about it, I guess you did come up with that.
Yeah. But Bryan steps aside and they hit each other. Bryan kicks Mikey on the chin for the win.
That's right.
Yeah. Watching it twice was worth a week's extra wages.
Thanks, Granny.
It was a good match, Bryan, and I give it a 11.
11!
11.
Oh, wow.
Very good.
That was a lot of fun to have my match reviewed.
That may be the first non-Undertaker match to go over 10.
Yeah.
Bryan, that was a very good match, and I just don't know how you could have kept from getting hurt.
I didn't get hurt at all except for one thing that I did to myself.
Wow.
Hey, listen, I'll give everybody, if you want to watch it, it's at video.f4wonline.com. So if you like to watch these shows on video, you can go watch the match. It's up there right now. 2 things to look for. Well, 1 thing to look for, and then my inside scoop. So we're trying to think of something to do where Peach and I could continue this feud next year. So his idea was, well, when Disco turns on you, he'll give you the chart buster, and I'll pin you. I don't lay down for anybody. I declined, which I actually I don't think I've ever in my entire career declined to do a job, but I did this time because I sold the entire fucking match and my partner turned on me. And if I got pinned at the end, I'm just a total geek. You know what I mean? So I figured I had to get something out of this match. So I pin Mikey, who, if you pay attention, neither myself nor Mikey were the legal man. So, Peach, that's his out. I probably shouldn't have revealed all that right now, but hey, it's an inside wrestling show, so.
I have a question. How come you left the ring so fast?
So they could get their heat back. I got the win. I got out of there so they could go out there and yell at the people. Anyway, The thing to look for in this match is when Disco came out and he's running wild. I'm down in the corner, and he's running wild on both guys. And I knew that there was a chartbuster in my future. So I thought, I'm going to build up a big loogie. And I start building it up, and I build it up, and I build it up for the big spit spot. So finally, I get up. Hey, he's here! I go over, we're going to hug each other, and he boots me in the stomach, and he gives me the chartbuster. I wanted to do the Kurt Angle.
Timber spot, yeah.
For my entire life, I've wanted to take a stunner so I could do the Kurt Angle deal. But he gives me the stunner, and I stand straight up. I spit straight up in the air, and it was a great loogie. So, literally, I'm doing the timber spot, and I'm looking up, and I see this giant loogie has gone straight up in the air and is now turned around and is now coming straight back down towards my face.
Perfect.
So if you fucking watch this, I get booted in the stomach, I get hit with the stunner, I stand straight up and I spin in the air and I start falling, and literally on the way down I go, whoop, and I move myself out of the way of this loogie, which then falls right next to my head. Maybe the most talented thing I've ever done in my entire wrestling career.
Dodge your own phlegm.
I watched it over and over and over again. I couldn't even figure out how I did it. But anyway, if you want to check it out, that's what happened there with that big spit
There's
spot.
your plug.
Yeah.
Spend your $8.
Spend your $8 to see me almost spit on myself, but levitate out of the way, so it didn't land on my own face. Thank you for the review, Granny. What else did you watch?
I watched SummerSlam. Some of it.
Nothing on there got an 11, I'll bet you.
No.
That's what I thought.
I watched Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and they were back and forth, and I'm not really, I'm just saying who won and who wrestled and who won, okay?
Gotcha.
Anyway, so they're back and forth, and Strowman comes out.
Strawman?
Yeah. Top Strawman.
What? What is it?
Strawman.
He's a poor debater. He uses a lot of straw mans.
A straw man. Like a straw man, only a straw man.
Yes.
Okay, anyway, so in that one, Roman Reigns wins, which was kind of a big surprise. That I gave. That
It was.
She had her money on Brock.
Okay. Well, I mean, she should.
Seems
Watch
like every
this fucking feud.
Seems like every time I watch it, though, Brock wins.
Well, that's true.
You're right, Granny.
That is actually true.
I apologize. You, as a viewer, you had every right to expect Brock Lesnar to win. So it was a surprise when Roman won.
Okay, so and I don't think it seemed like there weren't too many people that liked Roman for some reason, or maybe that was a different.
Very much like myself, Granny. Get some heat when he comes out.
Okay. Anyway, I gave that a 7. Then there was Samoa Joe versus AJ Styles, and there were some drop kicks and power slams, and Styles gets disqualified. That I wanted to ask you about that. Did he?
Yes.
I wasn't too sure.
He was disqualified.
Okay, I gave that one an 8, though.
Oh, wow.
That's almost as good as your match.
That's still 3 less than my match. Don't think I'm not counting.
Okay, then there was Carmella, Becky, Charlotte.
I can't wait to hear your review of this match, Granny.
They had uppercuts and double headbutts and
Uppercuts.
Upper cups.
Yeah.
uppercuts,
I'm sorry.
double headbutts and whatever. And so Charlotte wins that one. That was a pretty good match. And since I don't know the other two too well, it was okay for Charlotte to win. I gave that a 9.
A 9?
Two more. Two less than your
It's
match.
getting too close now. I think we should end this review.
Before we move on, Granny, how did you feel about the woman with the red hair? Were you disappointed she did not win in the end?
Oh, that was, what was her name?
Becky.
Becky. Oh, I'm looking at something else. There was another one. Okay. No, I didn't. I don't know either one of them well enough to, think too much about it.
Okay.
But I'm not really that fond of Charlotte either. But,
Don't like Charlotte.
Interesting.
yeah. Okay, then there was Hardy and Nakamura. Nakamura beat the heck out of Hardy and gave him atomic drops and a dog leg lifts.
Excuse me. A dog leg lifts?
Did
Did he pee on him?
No, I did that on purpose because that's a golf slang.
Golf slang.
Yeah, so I just thought I'd put it in there just for a joke.
All I know is Rob nodded.
Dog leg left? Okay, so it's like when the course... What does that have to do with Nakamura and Hardy?
Yeah, what is that?
Were they on a golf course? Did they turn left?
Well, I found that somewhere, at dog leg left. So I thought, well, I'll just throw that in there and just see.
For paying attention?
Yeah,
Okay.
Well, guess what? We were.
That's fair. I can't blame her for that one.
I gave her that one a 7.
I think they
And
didn't dog leg right.
then there was Bryan and Miz, and his wife was along in the crowd, and so Miz wasn't doing too well. So he walks over there, and she hands him something. I don't know what it was, but he comes
Probably
back.
a pacifier.
Something, and she hands him something, and he uses it to win the match.
What a
So-
coward.
So I only give that one a 4.
Ooh.
Now I want to get to Ronda Rousey,
Oh.
Natalia, and Alexis Bliss. They were drop kicks, submission holds, and
There were?
Ronda drops Alex on the mat. I make up a lot of this. But anyway, what I want to say is I don't think Ronda is going to make it. She is just not, to me, she's not just really that qualified to be,
Ronda Rousey is not that qualified
to be a good wrestler.
to be a good wrestler.
Yeah.
They're going to be so disappointed. What a mistake they've made.
Well, hey.
That's just my viewpoint on it.
Well, you're welcome to your viewpoint, Granny.
And I hope, and she won, so she's sitting in the middle of the ring and whatever. So, and I hope they don't make her the winner of the big women's match.
Oh, that big pay-per-view.
That would make me very disappointed.
Oh, man. Man, oh, man. It's going to be a fun October.
And besides that, I'm
And
tired
November.
I'm tired of seeing Rhonda on TV with her stupid commercial.
Oh, yes. The commercial.
Yeah.
Twizzlers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just disgusting.
See, it's disgusting.
Wow.
Okay.
Not a fan.
I guess not.
Strong opinions from Granny.
Well, she just, to me, doesn't seem like she's just.
Very nice.
No, I'm not saying that. She's nice and all that, but she just doesn't seem like she's just not the type for the wrestling. I don't know. Anyway, that's my idea.
Huh.
Okay. Duly noted.
Do you want 205 and NXT, or are we done?
Dude, I mean, we got nothing to talk about for the rest of the show, so you may as well just keep going.
Okay, there was House Party versus Nice and Murphy. And I didn't say much about that. That was a good match. Double super kicks, and House Party won that one. I gave it a 7. And then there was, I forget, it's TJP or JTP.
Whichever
Whatever the hell you
prefer.
want.
Yeah.
JTG. Could have been for all I know. I don't watch the show.
Noam Dar. Last time you laughed at me about Dar. That was kind of a good match because they kind of equaled each other. You know what I mean? About the same size, and and there was drop kicks and knees in the gut, and so Dar won that one. I gave it a 7.
Still only 111 this week, Bryan.
I'm still in the lead.
You are, yeah.
No one's beaten me this week.
Okay, then NXT, Belair versus Purracco. He's a new guy.
He?
Yeah.
Very new.
It's a woman,
Wait a
Granny.
minute. Oh, it's a woman. Okay. All right, let's see what I got here. I can't read this. Somebody's standing on her head over in the corner with.
Excuse me. Someone's standing on their head.
You know,
over in the corner.
sometimes they get over there and they wind up upside down. And so they're just back and forth. I got this so screwed up it doesn't even make sense. But anyway, Belair wins it. And I still gave that a 7.
Wow.
And I can see why. It's very clear to me.
And then there was Pete Dunne plus Zach Gibson. He was a new guy, too. Okay, there was a neck drop by Zach. They jumped over each other.
Anyone stand on their head?
And they had a bunch of finger and arm twists.
They did. She was paying attention to that part.
Yeah. And then one of them gave the other one a double crab. And face drops on Pete. Zach.
I don't know how you give somebody a double crab. I mean, I know one way, but...
Well, they keep working on each other's hands. And then Zach gives Pete a elbow and a turnbuckle by Zach and German duplex by Dunn. And that was a 6. What's so funny about that?
I almost doubled Pete Dunne, by the way. No.
Okay.
Excellent conclusion, Granny. We don't even know who won. We don't even know what happened.
What?
You threw out some random moves and then you just gave it we didn't even tell who won.
I said Dunn won it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you said she was done. I don't know.
I've got here what he had in his hand. I don't get that.
You're asking us to try to figure out what you wrote?
I don't know what that was. Anyway, I'm done.
Granny, I don't know what we'd do without you.
I don't know what I'd do without me.
Well, you made up for last week not being here. And hey, guess what? You're not going to be on next Thursday either.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Chicago.
Oh, are you going to travel again?
Yes, it's the last one, hopefully for the rest of my life.
Now, which is this one?
This is for All In.
What's a show? Is it a WrestleMania? All In, what's that?
That's the name of the show.
Oh, how come you're going to that?
Well, I'm going to report on it. It's part of my job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Aren't you tired of flying? I heard you had a whole bunch of fun
I am
on your...
so tired of traveling. I am so tired. Vinny could rant and rave too,
I actually
because
could.
he got stuck right behind me.
I got stuck right behind you, and unlike you, I don't fit in airplanes.
Hey, Granny, I know you don't like profanity, okay? But when we went to the airport, my flight, I got up so early to go to the airport, and then the flight's delayed. And it's delayed, and they say there's a mechanical issue with the airplane.
Oh, that's scary.
We're delayed, and an hour later they say, well, we got the new tire. That was the mechanical issue. It needed a new tire. Mm-hmm. They say, now we got to put the tire on. Waiting. Finally, 2 hours later, they explain, tire's on. Now we got to test the plane. What's there to test? Drive to the hangar, or wherever we're going to be to get on the airplane. Wait. Somewhere in here, I see the security over talking to a guy. And I kind of walk over there a little bit, and he's agitated. They're telling him he needs to chill out. That's what they told him, chill out. So finally, after 2 hours, they go over the intercom and they say, well, we got us a new airplane. We're going to move you to another gate. This guy stands up and goes, fuck you! Top of his lungs. So the security guy looks over and he goes, sir, was that you? And the guy is like, you're just trying to get rid of me. I didn't do anything. The guy goes, I just want to know if it was you. You can't get rid of me. Sir, I'd just like to know if you'd said that. So the guy's denying it, okay? Finally, they move us to the other gate. Once we get to the other gate, the plane still hasn't even, it's not even there yet, the new plane they've gotten for us. So the plane has to land, taxi in, and get people off the airplane.
Oh, no.
It's going on 3 hours now. So anyway, all of a sudden I turn around and the guy's being escorted out of the airport. They tell him, you've got to go. You're going to have to buy a new ticket. They make him leave the premises. At which point, he has to leave the airport and then buy a new ticket and then return to the airport, which I'm sure will make him significantly less agitated.
Yeah.
So they cart this guy out of there, and finally we ended up getting on the plane, and then away we went. And because of all of that, Vinny showed up at the airport after me, and you followed me. So you were also delayed.
Yes. Not nearly as bad, not nearly that exciting. I will just say that after we switched gates and then got a new plane, we had to switch gates with, like, we were in whatever gate it was. We'll say it was D12. We're going to D14, but the people from D14 are not coming over to D12. So there's hundreds of people all going against each other in this airport. Then we're at whatever the new gate is, and they go over an announcement. They say, we've got the plane. It's coming over from the hangar. We're going to leave at such and such time, although the last words is, the crew is still missing.
Oh! Yeah, ironically, when we got moved to the new gate and the plane finally got there, then they alert us, well, the plane's here, but the paperwork's missing.
Oh, God.
Dude.
And then the only thing I can say about the way back, there was a delay coming back again, and then I don't know why, but we were on a much smaller plane, and if I had one wish in this world at that point, it would have been make me 5'9" and 180.
Well,
I'm so tired of being big and flying.
that ain't happening.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, another story. Another Vegas story.
Don't wish for it to crash.
So I'm at the hotel.
Thank you, Granny.
And it's a bunch of the jiu-jitsu people came. So myself, this girl Hadley, and Wang, we're all on the same floor.
Brazzers.
And we're getting ready to go downstairs, okay? And like I mentioned on whatever show I talked about Wang the last time, he's got to change his goddamn clothes again, okay? Yeah. He changed his clothes 50 times during this vacation. So he goes, I'll be right back. I gotta go. I think we were gonna go to like a club, and he's out there in a tank top. And we're like, you ain't gonna get into the club wearing a tank top, so go put a shirt on. So he leaves, and I'm sitting there with Hadley, and the security guard comes by, and he goes, you guys staying here? I'm like, yeah, we're staying here. So he goes over and he gets on the phone. He starts talking to like downstairs. So I'm kind of paying attention, but not really, because I figured it does not apply to us. So he's kind of just on the phone, and finally Wang comes back, and we all start heading over to the elevators. And as we're passing, I hear the guy on the phone say something like, yeah, they don't know anything about it. I'm like, what? So that's what he said. And so we start going over towards the elevators, and all of a sudden Hadley says, what's that in the plant? There's like a red beeping thing. And as soon as she says that, the guy goes, don't go over there. Just get on the elevator and go. What the fuck's going on? We get on the goddamn elevator and we go downstairs. Apparently there was like a beeping device in the plant.
Yeah.
And I guess the guy thought it was a bomb.
Yeah.
So we got the fuck out of that hotel. I presume it wasn't a bomb because like nothing blew up or anything like that.
Yeah.
That was a very disconcerting moment.
Wow.
During the Vegas trip. Just go, he says.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, Granny, you want to see her while I read Ed's letter?
I thought I did.
No. Just stick around.
I saw something on there.
Okay, well, I'm going to read this here. We don't have much else to do, so what the hell. Okay. Bryan and Vinny, I just want to thank a few people for helping make an awesome Vegas convention. Vinny, for taking part in the finals of the Granny Tourney and finding the awesome Korean karaoke place.
Did show up. That's true.
Dez for taking care of the suite on his own this year and for helping with the brunch. Yes, thank you, Dez, for taking care of it, because when Ed was taking care of it, I paid for it.
Yeah. Dez took care of it. Ed still stayed there.
Yes. Corey for renting a car and being mine and the girls' personal taxi driver all weekend. I want to send a big shout out to Corey as well. A fine wheelman. Doc G, who wasn't there, but he also helped me out with something for the convention.
Can only imagine.
That sounds sketchy. Joe DeFalco and FSW for all the help and letting me do whatever I wanted on the Girl Power Show. My girls Mia Yim, Leva Bates, Chris Wolf, Zaya Brookside, Samantha Heights, Brittany Blake, Miranda for working the show and kicking ass. Plus Leva, Sam, and Britt for hanging out so much over the weekend. Plus Allison Danger, Andy Dalton, Katrina Winters, Sage Sin, and the FSW crew. Filthy Tom for coming out of the suite party despite his issues with me and giving everyone else a chance to hang out with him.
I didn't know Tom and Ed had issues.
Oh, they do, Vinny.
Oh, do they?
I'll tell you out
really?
there.
Oh, I do. Yes, I do.
Now you know, yeah.
Yeah.
William Powell in the Sci-Fi Center, Bryan for working the show and for putting together an awesome angle, helping to make an incredible show. Also, sometime over the past 12 years, we pulled a Brett and Sean and worked ourselves into a shoot. I want to apologize and say I'm sorry for my part in our fallout.
Wow.
I hope we can continue to get along like we did this weekend. I have turned the corner on Ed.
Just keep paying him, Ed.
That's right. Well, no. Ed.
Pay me.
Ed did a great job.
Ed did a hell of a job.
Yeah. And finally, I want to thank the future 2018 Promoter of the Year in the Wrestling Observer Awards, me, Ed in San Antonio.
Hey, I guess he's eligible.
Some things, he is eligible. I had thought of that. And I cannot wait to get the Observer Awards issue and see that one vote. I can't wait.
Laredo, Ed.
That's right. So, Granny, the winners of the Granny tournament.
The Granny Mixed Match Doubles Classic.
That's right. Was, in fact, the Lucha Sisters. And I believe that they said some nice words about you, Granny, upon winning.
Really?
Yep.
And then their gift cards were stolen.
And their gift cards were stolen.
Yeah.
By me.
No,
I love Texas de Brazil.
The other team.
Yeah. All right. Anything else, Granny? Anything you'd like to say, Vinny? Any final comments
I had a great
about
time
Vegas?
in Vegas. Thank you to everyone who came out and for everything you did. This sweet party, the Future Stars show was great. The karaoke party was a big hit. The SummerSlam viewing party was a lot of fun. We did not do a good job promoting it this year. If I'm being honest, we need to do a better job promoting it next year because everyone I talked to has always had a great time. And we need to make it clear what a great time this is for everyone. So thank you all for coming. I had fun. I love Las Vegas. I love a town where there was one day where before it was like 1:30, I had already walked like 6 miles and had a margarita and was sitting down to enjoy a milkshake with Jägermeister in it.
Wow.
This is a great city.
Yeah. I had a big giant steak and then went and had Ben and Jerry's.
I had the best hamburger of my life at Gordon Ramsay Burger.
Really?
It
Wow.
was the bomb.
Bryan,
Yes, Granny.
was Sims there?
No, he was with his mom in another state.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he wasn't there.
Then I wouldn't have had my ride.
That's true, Granny, but there's always next year. Trust me, we would have gotten you a ride. Don't worry. You ever heard of Uber?
No.
Rob, how'd you enjoy the convention this year? Would you recommend other people go and enjoy themselves?
Sorry, go ahead, Rob. I need to add something, but go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I would absolutely recommend it. I had a great time. It was a great chance, my first real chance to kind of get to meet a lot of the people from the board who I've kind of seen, never really got to meet before. Ed was great. Dez, Justin, got to meet Filthy.
That's right.
Even though you told him to big time me, but that's cool.
Actually, I didn't. He did it on his own.
I big time you.
Yeah. Well, you expect though, Vinny.
Brian,
Yes, Granny.
if Filthy was there, why didn't he wrestle with you?
Because he had another match on Saturday that same day in Chicago.
Oh.
Yeah.
So he flew.
He flew out Saturday morning, flew back Sunday morning.
Wow.
Yeah, he's crazy. Drank all night Friday night, then flew out Saturday morning.
Yes, he did.
I can relate.
Not as much as I did, but
No, not as much as Rob did.
really.
Dude,
Heck.
Rob at 3 a.m. just starts walking back to the Mirage from the Cosmo.
The Cosmo.
Actually, it was closer to 5.
Oh! Yeah. Welcome to Vegas, everybody.
It's the best.
You won't have a bad time.
No, you will not be bored.
Don't you remember the Vinny? I showed you the bruise that I got when I was playing blackjack.
Yeah, he fell
we
down
fell
playing
off the
blackjack
stool.
and then
Fell off the
didn't do the...
But we didn't talk about the walk home drunk at 5 a.m. part.
Yeah, that was the other part of the story.
Brian, how many people were at the big dinner?
I don't know. What, 20? It's smaller than usual.
Yeah, people are starting to pick and choose now. They kind of realize they don't need to do every single thing.
Yeah, there's a million things to do,
So
so...
there's less people at each event, but it's still a
Next
great
year, we're
time.
only going to do one thing. It's my plan.
I just want to thank one more person in specific. The new guy, Ben. Ben showed up to the sweet party for the first time and wanted to feel at home, and so he brought a very expensive bottle of scotch.
Oh!
And this made me happy. Anyone who wants to get in my good graces, bring expensive scotch. We'll be pals.
That's right. And big fat burgers.
Wasn't that fat? It's just good.
Oh.
You're making me hungry.
Well, go eat, Granny. That's it from here.
Okay, so I'll have another. So we'll
2
have
weeks.
We'll have the contest in 2 weeks then.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
And have a fun trip. I probably won't even see you.
Get out of here, Granny.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that was the longest Granny segment of all time.
Did that go an hour?
51 minutes.
51 minutes.
But, dude, it's going to take 2 minutes to review NXT.
It will.
And about 3 minutes to review that fucking hidden gem.
No, I understand. I understand. Well, let's get these 5 minutes over with then. NXT from August 22nd, the TakeOver recap show. Bianca Belair versus Deonna Purrazzo. It was better than your typical contracted woman versus random indie wrestler match. Deonna Purrazzo's pretty good. Crowd was totally into Bianca, chanting EST for her. Deonna made a cool comeback. People were into it. And finally, Bianca pushed her into the post, hit the sit-out burning hammer for the win. This was good.
That was all right.
Yeah.
I will say the one thing that's good about this women's evolution, which I'm absolutely sick of hearing about because they jam it down our throats on Raw and SmackDown. One good thing about it is fans want the women to succeed.
Sure.
So, at least for the time being, we'll see how long it lasts. If you have a 1.5-star men's match and you have a 1.5-star women's match, the women's match is going to get a way better reaction.
Probably true.
Know what I'm saying?
Right now.
Like, this match was okay. Mm-hmm. If it had been a men's match, I mean, I don't think the crowd would have been this polite.
Well, it was also the opener. They taped this before TakeOver.
Yes.
So it was a huge building and a great crowd.
Yes.
So they got the opening match pop, too.
The women are getting, how can I say this?
They're graded on a different curve.
I don't know if it's so much great on a curve, but they're given more of a chance than the men.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Velveteen Dream EC3 video package. And then they did backstage promos with each of them. Dream just put a crown on Kathy, dubbed her Queen Kathy, and said if she wanted answers to her questions, tune in Wednesday night and watch them on TV. And then he left. You know what? I watched the show. We never got any questions or answers.
I have no idea what he was talking about. All I know is he put this crown on her. It's like he was going to ask her out on a date, or ask her to marry him, because she was going to be the queen. And he says, Kathy, what are you doing on Wednesday night? She goes, nothing. It's like, man, sucks to be you. That was it.
That was it. Then they interviewed EC3, some random guy interviewing him.
Hey, listen, I really like this promo. Mm-hmm. EC3, first off, he explained it. He is the top 1%. But the top 1%, unlike in TNA, it is not about his finances or his tax bracket.
No.
It is about the top 1% mindset.
Yes.
You go out there to be a winner. So he does his promo here. They ask him if he was attacked by Aleister Black. He explains
Or if he
that
attacked Aleister
if he
Black.
attacked him, he explains that he was outside and he saw, and I quote, chaos, bedlam, and happenstance. He blames Lars Sullivan.
Yeah.
He says, listen, if I was Aleister Black and this fucking guy broke my jaw, I'd want to take a shot at him. Or the other way around, if I were Lars.
Yeah,
anyway,
screaming.
the point of all of this is, I thought you did a hell of a job with the promo.
Mm-hmm.
Because, to me, this was not a promo, okay? The EC3 character is a really weird fucking guy.
Yes.
But when he did this promo, you felt like he was having a conversation. This did not feel scripted.
No.
It did not feel like he was playing a character.
No, he's not reciting dialogue.
It felt like this weird guy was giving his thoughts.
Just getting things off his chest.
That's fucking all I want in wrestling out of a promo.
What a promo is supposed to be.
Yes.
I like when he says he says, this is not over between me and Dream. It's not over between me and Johnny Gargano. It's not over between me and the 5 men in the ladder match. He lists like 5 matches he lost, and apparently none of them are actually over. So he's going to seek revenge on everyone, the entire roster at some point.
Hey.
And then he actually said, and I can't believe...
That's a top 1% mindset.
I really can't believe this next line was delivered on a WWE show in 2018. He says, I don't want to go win, lose, win, lose. I want to go win, 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 win.
Yes.
The one guy who cares.
It's NXT.
It is NXT. And then, yes, he put the heat on Lars. He also denied being Kaiser Soze. Important note. Undisputed Era Mustache Mountain recap. And then the Ricochet Cole recap. Ricochet was doing a backstage promo with his new belt. Cole and O'Reilly arrived to intimidate him. Pete Dunne showed up in his sockless shoes, and they left. Ricochet thanked him, called him mate. Dunne said, we're not mates. I want your belt too. There you go. So
I got to mention one thing about this. There's some guys that their body type makes them look tall or short.
Sure.
Like Tyler Bate, for example. I mean, he looks like a short guy. Know what I mean?
Sure.
Ricochet has a physique where he looks like a tall guy, but he's standing here next to Pete Dunne.
He's not a tall guy.
Dude, Pete Dunne is taller than Ricochet.
Yeah.
We saw Pete Dunne in Seattle.
Yeah.
He ain't that tall.
No.
Ricochet's probably 5'7".
Yeah.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
He can't be much taller than that. Pete Dunne's maybe 5'8", and he was taller than Ricochet.
Yeah.
My mind was blown here.
Turns out he's not very big.
No. Well, he's big. He's just short.
He's short. So we haven't talked about any of the Aleister Black video footage. Have you seen anything before this one?
No. Because we missed last week's show.
We missed last week's show, and they didn't air it on the show where the three-way was announced. Anyway, they're on Twitter. You can go find them. They're fantastic. They're so great. Regal is talking about, the takeover or whatever, and someone comes running up. Mr. Regal, there's an emergency in the parking lot. And so Regal goes scurrying through the corridors, and as he's stepping through the door that goes out of the building, Johnny Gargano quietly, nonchalantly walks in past them going into the building. And so they go over to where Aleister Black is laid out. And the key to this is, as they cross this way and that way, looking left and right, like the entire roster is there. As he's walking to Black, you see Undisputed Era all jump into a car and zoom off. Heavy Machinery is there taking pictures, asking if Aleister's okay. The Dream saying he was nearby. Cassius Ohno is asked about it, but he blows off the camera and just sits down. So the entire roster is a suspect now.
That's right.
It's fantastic. They're so great. So this is a new one that I had not seen before.
Listen, I've seen a lot of pictures of Bigfoot, okay? Not one of them was more blurry than this fucking picture.
There's a camera.
It's fucking pitch black.
Yes.
And there's a white blur, okay?
They have a camera. I did not realize that NXT was taped in the ground floor of a great tower. This camera is so
Dude, it was taped underground.
It may have been. So we're looking way, way down, and we see these tiny little ants moving around on the ground that we were told are people. And Marlo's like, here you can see Commissioner Regal. Like, no, you can't.
Yeah. They're like, this blur
This pixel
is Nikki Cross.
They
I was like, bullshit. You didn't see anything in this
They
blur.
zoom in like not even zoom in. They quote unquote enhance a spot on the building across the street. I couldn't even tell if it was a human being. There's a blur, as Brian said.
If you want to look at it like a Rorschach ink blot, it was maybe Marty Skrull in his Plague Doctor mask. But that's fucking the only thing. It was like a triangle, a white triangle. They're telling me it's Nikki Cross.
Here you see Nikki Cross. Like,
This was ridiculous, but hilarious.
in a hilarious way. Zach Gibson hype video. He was in the UK tournament. He lost to Pete Dunne in that tournament. He is challenging Pete Dunne for the UK title tonight. He says he's a throwback to British style. He promises to make Liverpool's number one, the UK's number one. Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler their video package. And then Shayna and the Horsewomen did a backstage promo.
Yeah. On Raw, Ronda is a babyface.
Yes.
NXT, she's a heel. And she had her heel face on. These are 4 evil women.
Oh, they are
in
scary.
NXT.
Evil and scary.
Yes.
And Shayna says, Kairi didn't beat me. I lost. I'm still the better fighter. And she fought for words for a second and then just waved her crew and said, come on. And they left.
So, the MMA 4 horsewomen are so much fucking cooler
So
than
not
the
close.
WWE 4 horsewomen.
Yep.
Bailey, Sasha,
Yeah.
Becky, and Charlotte.
Yeah.
Fuck.
This is not a match I want to see at this point.
Dude, I want to see it. I want to see this massacre.
Much as I wanted to see Shayna versus Dakota Kai.
Basically, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's 4 Dakota Kais on the main roster.
It really is. Gargano Ciampa recap video. This is a fucking long match. So this recap video is longer than most TV matches. So I didn't even watch the show until this afternoon. And somehow, I still don't know how, I managed to avoid almost all spoilers.
That's baffling.
It is amazing to me. I knew Kyrie won the title, and I knew at some point Adam Cole kicked Ricochet and it looked cool. That was all I knew going into the show. That fucking finish to Gargano and Ciampa is the best thing I ever saw.
That's great.
It was so. It is even better here with various camera angles. You can zoom in more and hear what they're saying to each other. There's a musical background. This was epic. It was just awesome. WWE and Brooklyn Hype video. I assume the same one aired on Raw and or SmackDown. Whose idea was it to put AJ Styles next to Aaron Judge?
Fuck.
For those of you who don't know, he's a baseball player. I think he's a legit 6'8". So he makes Lashley look small and AJ look minuscule. Microscopic AJ look next to this man. Back in the day, famous athletes would come to get a picture with Andre the Giant and he would refuse because he didn't want to look short. He didn't want his height exposed. Someone should have told that to AJ.
Well, AJ was helping expose his height.
Yeah, now everyone's going to care about the Yankees more.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne versus Zach Gibson in the main event. The crowd.
It's a very good match.
Yeah,
but
a fun TV match.
they've had too many blow-away main events for me to...
Well, part of it, too, is, again, this was taped before TakeOver.
Yes.
So they couldn't go out and have a blow-away match.
Well, it's also Zach Gibson who... I mean, this would
Ordinarily, I would agree with
This
you.
would have been tough in Full Sail.
I would agree with you, but they loved Pete Dunne so much. It could have been me. I would have been booed just as much as Zach Gibson was.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's a little harder to care about the match when you only care about one of the guys.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They had a good TV match. It was not in the realm of most NXT main events lately, but there's nothing wrong with it. I did laugh. There's a spot where Dunne does the flip out of the corner, and Gibson kicks him in the face.
Yeah,
Like they just foreshadowed Adam Cole and Ricochet.
basically.
It was close to the same thing, only not nearly as well and not nearly as important in the long scheme of things, grand scheme of
The
things.
grand scheme,
Thank
Vinny.
you. That makes sense.
The Shankly Gates.
The Shankly Gates. I'm glad I didn't bother to write it down. It's the London Dungeon.
Yes.
So yeah, he has a submission hold. It's Nigel's submission hold. It was funny. Apparently he does a lot of Nigel spots, and Morrow's pointing them all out, and Nigel's he's too humble to say anything. Anyway, eventually what Gibson had in his hand that Granny cannot recognize was Pete Dunne's mouthpiece.
I see. That's what she's talking about?
Yes, I think.
I got it.
I assume.
Yeah.
So he goes to throw it into the crowd, and Dunne blocks it, snaps the fingers, hits the bitter end for the win.
What a dumbass, but at least he's a heel dumbass.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good.
It was good.
It's fine. You don't need to watch the show, everybody.
You do not. No.
You can skip it. And let me tell you a show that I command you skip.
I insist.
Big Time Wrestling Star Wars, 1981, Hidden Gems in the WWE Network. Big Time Wrestling, very, very early world-class championship wrestling. Reunion Arena. We fucking looked everywhere for results for this fucking show. It's so goddamn hard to find.
They claim it was February 22nd, 1981.
Yes.
At one point on the show, the announcer said it was February 22nd. However, it's very clear if you listen that they did this show and then added commentary later.
Yes.
He claimed they had to dampen the crowd noise so you could hear me better.
I see.
To explain why he sounded so much clearer than the crowd did. But anyway, I'm wondering if it was taped several days before this and then aired on February 22nd. And this is why we cannot find results.
Point is, who cares? Don't watch it.
Yes. Great Kabuki versus Fritz Von Erich.
Fritz was 52 years old in this match. I want everyone, if you have not seen my match and you have a video.f4wonline.com subscription, Disco Inferno's 50.
Is he really?
Fritz is 2 years older than Disco Inferno is today.
I had no idea Disco Inferno was 50 years old.
Fritz Von Erich looked like 100 years old.
I thought Disco was younger than me.
He just... Oh my God. He was a monster of a man.
Yes.
Which is interesting because all of his boys are long and lanky.
Yeah.
With the exception of Kerry, who was all juiced up.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is not long and lanky.
No.
He's built like a tank. They did fucking nothing forever. They do nothing.
I wrote the same thing.
They do nothing.
Nothing happened for a while.
Fritz applies his stomach claw.
Listen, there's two things that they essentially did in this match.
Nerve holds
Kabuki
and
does
stomach claws.
The armpit nerve pinch.
Yes.
And Fritz does the face claw and the stomach claw.
Which, hey, let me tell you something. I'll pinch either your armpits. You'll submit. That's a shoot hold.
We had this discussion before. But
Yeah.
We watched an old Kabuki match.
Shoot hold.
I doubted the legitimacy of this and the pressure points involved.
Well, did I pinch you there or something and you not believe it? Because I can.
I'm good.
Okay. That's what I thought.
But that's all they did. Pinches and claws for, 15 minutes.
A fucking fan goes after Gary Hart.
Gary Hart is punching... They're in the corner, right? As we mentioned, Fitz is a tank of a man. He's a just big ornery motherfucker. And he's wailing on Kabuki in the corner. So Hart, from the floor, is throwing like sideways punches to Fritz's calf. Like
Yes.
he's going to do anything. But this fan was not going to tolerate this bullshit.
You know the best part about it is? The fan attacks him. Gary shrugs it off.
Yeah.
Security drags the guy away. And I thought, that's a man who's been attacked 100 times by fans.
Yes.
That's what that was.
For this fan, it was the day he could take no more and had to take action into his own hands. For Gary Hart, it was Tuesday.
Yes.
So this goes on for a while. Eventually, David Von Erich can take no more. He hits the ring. It is a no DQ match.
It's a no DQ match. Babyface David Von Erich hits the ring to save babyface Fritz Von Erich. They fucking double team Kabuki and win.
That's what happened.
What a bunch of horse shit. Dude.
The only thing I can say, I'm trying to make sense out of this, is they wanted the fans who came to see Fritz go home happy.
Well, they did.
They wanted also to have Kabuki have something to do after this. So now Kabuki's pissed at David. David fucked him. So now they can do David and Kabuki down the line. That's the best I can do. Kerry Von Erich versus Harley Race for the NWA World Championship.
Think about this. Think about all these guys in NXT. Ricochet in developmental. Adam Cole in developmental. How long these guys have been working. Mm-hmm. Fucking Kerry Von Erich had been in the business 2 years.
Yes.
He's fighting for the World Heavyweight title against Harley Race. Mm-hmm. He's fucking green as grass. He cannot do a goddamn thing in there.
He had... first of all, it was one funny elbow smash. Then I realized every bump he took was exactly the same.
Yes.
All hysterical.
Harley Race, I know this will come as a surprise to many of you. He was fucking amazing. You know what's funny about him? Harley Race carried Kerry Von Erich to a perfectly acceptable world championship match. And Kerry was green as grass.
Kerry was massive.
There is a point in this match where Harley did the most realistic attempt to suplex a man in the ring, but the guy falls on top of him that I've ever seen. It fucking looked like a shoot. He did nothing flashy.
No.
He did nothing fast. He did nothing special. But somehow, everything he did was special. I don't even know how to explain it. I thought he was so great in this match. Mm-hmm. And they fight. Harley tries to dive, hits a table. Kerry tries to crawl back in. He doesn't make it. Both men counted out. Title does not change hands. There's a visual pinfall, and they close the deal by saying Kerry Von Erich is your uncrowned World Heavyweight Champion.
In a lot of ways, this is very similar to the Sting Ric Flair match from Clash of the Champions we're going to watch shortly.
It was very similar to every world title match that they had.
That's probably
in
true
the
too.
70s
But
and 80s, with like 5 exceptions.
In this case, specifically because Kerry was so young and huge and good looking, but green as hell, and this is the way they made the crowd want the hometown hero to win, and be satisfied with his moral victory, even though in the end the wily veteran champion found a way to escape.
Yes.
So I want to describe Kerry's bumping before we move on. He did this, as I said, for an elbow smash first, and then he did it when he got punched or when he took a headbutt, whatever. He would jump as high in the air as he could. And for a man his size, he could jump very, very high into the air. And then he would come down, of course, totally out of control. And then always one leg would hit first or one foot would hit first. And then he would come down on his ass really hard.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Yeah. That's how you end up on pain medication.
Well, yes. I was going to say he looked like he was killing himself out there.
Yeah.
So don't bump like that, everyone. It's bad. Oh, let's see.
I'll do it.
I wrote a lot about this.
Hercules, Ayala, and Ali Mustafa, who is not Mustafa Ali, might add, against Kevin and David
I
Von
actually
Erich.
wrote Mustafa Ali.
Dude, you idiot. So,
Cut.
as the Von Erichs are coming to the ring, they
Paste.
let all of these little kids jump up on the apron to get autographs.
Hundreds of them, man.
That is a fucking lawsuit waiting to happen. They have this match. It's like, not horrible, but it was the longest match I've ever seen.
Oh, I don't know.
I never want to watch it again. The only thing I got out of this is these Von Erichs were backyarders. They were just crazy, out of control backyarders.
Yeah.
Kevin's in there just stiffing the shit out of Hercules. Hercules, like, obviously he can't beat up the Von Erichs, but he gave some fucking receipts in this match. A lot of goddamn headlocks. A lot of random tags.
A dozen hot tags. At least a dozen.
Running wild, get cut off. Run wild, get cut off. Headlock. Hold the guy. And finally, Kevin comes off the top with a giant sunset flip, gets the pin. The place goes absolutely crazy. They win the tag team titles. Good finish. Cool to see the crowd reaction. Holy shit, was this a chore to watch.
I don't know how long this went, but I gave up about 5 minutes before it ended. And at one point, I finally wrote, fuck off, end this match. And I declared I would write down nothing else until the finish. And then, only 2 more minutes went by. They did the sunset flip. But yes, I think when you said, I forget what you said when you started. It wasn't terrible or anything. Oh, I disagree. I think this was a terrible match.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
It worked in the building.
It worked
Fans
in the
went
building.
fucking nuts when the Von Erichs won. But
Von Erichs are these young, pretty boys. Mustafa and Ayala are giant, ugly, mean-looking fuckers.
Hercules Ayala was a big man.
Yep.
Look at Scott Norton
Baby
with an afro.
faces and heels.
He was a heel, that's true.
And boy, did it work. Just like it would work today.
Just one last note on Kevin and the way he would, of course, beat the hell out of everyone he ever worked with. I talked about Kerry's elbow smashes. Kevin would do kind of the same thing in that he would jump super high in the air. But then, you know how AJ Styles does his flying forearm and he rears way back and swings way forward, looks awesome? Kevin does the same thing on elbow smashes, only I'm sure he was legit
Of course he was.
throwing his elbow down and landing with the point of his elbow on their ribs every
This
single
would
time.
have been a DQ in UFC.
A flying 12-6 elbow. Every fucking time. It looked awesome, though. Looked great. I thought this was done. I thought we were over. We start the show. I was ready to move on. There's a fucking battle royal.
You know what, though? When I saw everybody in the ring, I wrote, random Halloween battle royal, a bunch of geeks in costumes. But you know what? There were some legends in there.
A few.
Bruiser Brody's in there. Last but not least, they note Tim Brooks.
Tim Brooks.
Brian Blair's in there.
Jose Lothario.
Ali Mustafa, Hercules Ayala.
I called him Mustafa Ali again.
Chan Chung,
Chan Chun.
the future Kendo Nagasaki.
Was it really?
It was.
You know what's funny? Because it was a masked guy named Chan Chun. And I said, I bet he's not really Asian. Who knew?
So anyway, Chan Chung is the first man eliminated, and the announcer goes, the field's starting to narrow itself down a bit. I'm like, one dude's out.
Did we mention that the winner of this match got $5,000?
So I knew Brody was going to win. So, comes down to Brooks, Brody, Lothario,
I knew when I was looking around the ring and there's Bruiser Brody and 8 guys I don't recognize.
and Ali Mustafa are the final 4, and Lothario gets tossed. It comes down to Mustafa and Brooks versus Brody. They're double teaming Brody. These two morons go for a double team, and they fucking eliminate themselves. Brody doesn't touch them.
No.
It's not like they mess up and he dumps both of them out.
No.
He's standing in the ring. They fucking run into each other. They both fall outside, and he's still standing there. And he goes, hey, $5,000. I was like, fuck. But you know what? Second best match on the show. I'm not wrong.
What was first?
Well, the fucking Harley Race match.
Oh, yeah, duh.
Yeah.
So, did we mention the Lawman?
No.
I don't know who this guy was. He was the tallest guy in the ring. He's taller than
Well,
Brody.
he was the lawman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
He's tall. He's balding. He's running around in jeans and cowboy boots doing nothing. And did we mention there were pins in this battle royal?
Yeah.
There's pins. So guys do like, I don't know, a body slam and make a cover.
It was like Aztec warfare.
Kinda. So they would hit an elbow or whatever and make a cover. And it is a battle royal. So whenever anyone made a cover, 5 other guys would pile on. And the guy would be pinned and he'd be out. So yes, Brody won. Brody's celebration actually may have been the best thing on the show. But yeah, I'm not going to watch that again.
Don Slatton was the lawman.
Okay, I did hear that name in there. I did not realize he and the lawman. I'm kind of sad that the lawman was just a nickname then, and not just his wrestling identity.
Well, he was a promoter and did some other stuff, and that's the story of the lawman.
Well, we watched those 2 shows.
We watched him, everybody.
We're not watching either one.
We
again.
watched him. You don't.
You don't
Done.
have to. Yeah.
There's your $11.99 right there. All right, everybody, we're going to wrap it up for today. We got to get going. We'll be back on Sunday, the return of NWA World Championship Wrestling, and perhaps some potpourri. And I'll be back tomorrow with the return to the Empire of Lance Storm.
Woo.
Figure 4 Daily tomorrow. We got him a remote. We got him a mic. It sounds awesome. It's going to be a fun show. He's got a lot of thoughts. That's tomorrow on Figure 4 Daily, Observer Live as well. Mike Quackenbush will be on that show. So a lot of great stuff coming up. Check it out, everybody, and that is it. We will talk to you again after a while.
Adios.